Kill her, Mommy! Kill her! Don't let her get away, Mommy! Don't let her live! I won't, Jason. I won't. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you for hopefully a relatively quick video here. This is something I was actually going to do last year after I, reviewed all the first 8 Friday the 13th movies. Then I did like VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, and reviewed the Blu-ray collection, all this kind of stuff. By the time I was done with that Friday the 13th stuff, I was kind of, not to say I was Friday the 13th out, but I was like, I did a lot of Friday the 13th stuff, and I thought, well, I've got some other Friday the 13th topics and stuff that I was going to do last year that I was just like, you know what, let's save some of that stuff for next year. So that's what I'm going to do throughout the course of the summer. I'm just going to randomly appear wearing a Friday the 13th t-shirt and with some, random Friday the 13th topic or something or other that I, own, or just some kind of Friday the 13th talk, being my favorite franchise of all time, and the first movie from 1980 being among one of my favorite movies of all time. It's hard not to occasionally want to come, stop on by and talk Friday the 13th. Today, the topic, Friday the 13th, 1980 topic today is this thing, which I actually made. It's a sign, or well, you might as well just call it a sign, kind of a prop replica sign from the original movie. About a minute into the movie from 1980, Friday the 13th, you see this. Obviously, we all know that movie was filmed at Camp Nobisco, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was filmed at that camp in New Jersey. And I would imagine that this, I would imagine this isn't set dressing. It's probably just on the cabin door. From what I can gather watching the movie, several different cabins have their own sign, and I would imagine it's, the names are taken from American Indian tribes. Because another sign that's featured prominently on Alice's cabin is Comanche. I've been meaning to make that sign forever, the blue sign with the yellow Comanche kind of going down at an angle. And then Brenda's cabin was like Seneca. And then there's even the cabin that Ned gets killed in. I think there's a sign on there. You can probably, I think I tried to read that, and I zoomed in on the TV and I tried to read that. I can't exactly remember the name of that particular, or on that sign or whatever. But this is something, watching the the original movie from 1980, that that I've always liked. Some of the imagery, kind of the first real summer camp imagery, that that sign, simply that sign outside the cabin door of, when Mrs. Voorhees goes in and looks through, goes into the cabin and looks at the sleeping kids and stuff. This sign has always just spoken, a lot to me. And, one of the big things about, like camp, summer camp, and just camping and being in the woods and lake environments of stuff, and of course, is the, like the American Indian influences with the arrows and stuff, and just the imagery of an arrow, even if it's a crude imagery like that, is just so kind of campy as in camp-ish imagery, in particular when they're crossed together like that. And just by chance, I actually had, I made this, I think, in 2011. I painted it. It's actually paint, believe it or not, on a piece of wood, very much like, I would imagine the one in the movie is. And just by chance, I actually had this brown and this cream color. I had to go out and buy that color, but I just loved that sign so much in that movie. It was just, it evoked, it's like summer camp to me so much that I just had to have my own. And of course, just like so many things in my, history of being a movie fanatic, like from the, the guitar drill that I made out of cardboard from Slumber Party Massacre 2 or Belial, that I made out of cardboard from, Basket Case 3 or whatever. This is the most recent thing that I did, probably in 2011. It's funny because, I uploaded some videos this spring, or late winter, early spring, of drawings that I'd done in, as a teenager and stuff. And I kind of mentioned I don't draw anymore in those videos, but I mean, I guess kind of in a way, I never really necessarily let it go. This is pretty much my first attempt at, painting. This is paint on a piece of plywood or whatever, and, I think if you, look at the original sign from the movie and compare it to this one, although it's not perfect, I think it definitely, you know, echoes the one from the movie very much. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Once again, my intention was to share this with you last year, but I was like, well, I did a lot of Friday the 13th stuff last year. Let's save some for this year, and this is obviously the first video of, you know, of these Friday the 13th topics that I was going to share last year with you that I'm going to do this year, of course. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about this sign. You know, maybe until you saw this video, maybe you never really even gave that sign outside the, you know, that sign stuck to the outside of the cabin door much thought. Maybe you'll, you know, look at that sign differently from here on out. But I mean, I've always loved, you know, without necessarily even knowing it, I've always loved that sign on that, you know, that's hanging outside on that cabin door. Just the colors and just the arrows imagery and just the, you know, the word fox underneath it and stuff like that. So in pure, you know, just, you know, huge movie fanatic, you know, fan film geekdom, I just had to make my own kind of sign replica, if you will. So as I said, feel free to let me know what you think. I imagine you guys are just going to say, oh man, that's awesome. Thank you in advance for saying, you know, happy comments. Yeah, I just, you know, I could sit here and talk about this sign all day, but I think I'll spare you. So thank you very much for watching this video about a huge movie fanatic that, you know, made one of his own kind of prop signs from one of his favorite movies. And as always, we'll catch you on the next video.